Hey, this is Rick Terrio, your Maine real estate guide. It's November 21st. It's a Sunday morning. And in Maine, we have blue laws, and Sundays during hunting season, you can't hunt on Sundays. So it's an opportunity for me to get out and actually show you a fantastic piece of hunting ground that's coming to market. But this particular property that I've got coming to market is just a fantastic hunting lot. It's 119 plus or minus acres, located on the Swift Brook Road in the town of Stacyville. Over the years, this particular property has been hunted by several local people. I had an opportunity when I first viewed the property to walk with the woodcutter that actually did some of the selective harvest on this land over the years. It has hunted whitetail here for decades, and he relayed many stories of bucks he's killed here and close encounters of other deer. On the way into the property along the road, we're not too far off of the interstate, approximately 5 miles off of I-95, exit 264. The edges of the road are old apple trees, overgrown, laden with fruit, and at the top of the ridge, which this property extends from where we're at the bottom all the way up onto the top of the ridge, are agricultural fields. And deer are an edge animal, and so this property is like a pinch point, a funnel, and the bucks cruise back and forth across the property during the fall in search of does. The does in the evening probably head up to the agricultural fields and the road edges to eat apples and graze on clover in the fields, and the bucks know that. And so if you position your stands on this property in various places, you'll have many encounters with whitetail deer. So this property is coming to market, 119 acres at $120,000 on the Swift Brook Road in the town of Stacyville. So let's take a walk and check out some of the property. This trail that I am walking on was a skidder trail when they logged this portion of the land. And there's a great stand location at the top of the hill where you can see for about 300 yards. And several big bucks have been taken right from this location. So this tree stand location right here on the edge of the hillside overlooks a clearing that was logged. I'm looking at the poplar regen down there. I'm going to say probably 4 or 5 years ago. And the land, again, this is a ridge that the top of the height of the land at the top is approximately 550 feet above sea level, and it drops down about approximately 100 feet over its acreage down to about 440 plus or minus feet above sea level down here, which would be the bottom. In beyond that tree line that you can see on the far edge, and I can see a property line boundary marker painted on the trees, so some of the boundaries are painted. Is dark growth that extends back towards Swift Brook. There is no brook frontage on the property, but Swift Brook lies in behind here, and that's where the whitetail would be bedding during the day, typically, down in the dark growth, and then they'd work their way towards evening up towards the agriculture fields to feed. So you can catch them coming and going from various locations here. So this road here that we're on goes to the back edge of the property. I don't know of a right-of-way along this particular road to get there, although there's no signs, no trespassing or whatnot, but I do not believe that there is a deeded right-of-way along this road to the back of the property. That being said, there's over 550 feet of frontage on the Swift Brook Road, so you do have direct access along the Swift Brook Road to the parcel. This is a bridge across Swift Brook, and we're going to the back edge of the property, and then we're going to walk up through the hardwood ridge and show you some of the standing timber that's there. And it's a really nice parcel. But Swift Brook is well, fairly quick moving body of water. This is a trout stream, and it's it's within a short walk or bike ride or just a short drive from the property. It's about a mile away. And the deer here are exceedingly intelligent because they know the best place to cross the stream without getting your feet wet is along a bridge. There's deer tracks where they come across the bridge. So, as you can hear, my buddy Blazer is waiting to be released as we go explore. So, hang on. So this is the main branch of Swift Brook, which from this location we're on the back side of the property. We're probably 200 to 300 yards from the property to this brook. And this looks like a heck of a trout stream. So this is one of the corners of the property. We're on the low end of the property. So we're at probably the lowest point, which would be about 440 plus or minus feet above sea level. And the lines are pretty well marked on the majority of the property. So this is a corner right here where two lines intersect. And so this is the low point. As you can see, this portion of the property is predominantly softwood. There's some cedar I see here, white cedar. There's some hemlock, a few hardwood trees, some fir. And then we're gonna go for a walk up over the ridge, and then we're gonna transition from this predominantly softwood with a little mixed wood in it to pretty much all hardwood. It'll be a nice little journey. But this is another point as for this property as being a great long-term timber holding, as well as just a fantastic hunting recreational lot, just as she sits right now, is its location. It's a transition zone between this industrial area here, or industrial wood. This land that abuts it is managed by Prentice and Carlisle, which is a major land management company here in the state of Maine. And they've done a fair amount of harvesting here recently on the properties that abut this. And then beyond the tree line that you see behind you, you go into some dense softwood stands and a large wetland area that Swift Brook comes through. There's a big deadwater upstream, a fair amount, with some swale grass and whatnot. So just fantastic whitetail habitat. And then up at the top of the land, as you'll see when we get there, is ag land. Nice, beautiful fields and apple trees. And there's Blazer. He's going to put on a few miles today, and he really needs to run. This grassy road in front of us, we're near the other corner of the property. The property continues up the road a little ways, but this road here is a good walking path to get to the height of the land where the agricultural fields are. And so we'll kind of meander our way up over the ridge and take a look at some of the highlights. So this is the back edge of the property. And again, you can see line evidence. The lines are painted on the back edge. It's a rare piece of land in our neck of the woods that has very good line evidence. So this 119 plus or minus acre parcel, pretty well defined on the earth, with painted lines over the majority of the acreage. So we're on the back edge. We're kind of in the center of the property, and I just wanted to show you this nice, beautiful stand of predominantly hardwood. There's some fir and stuff coming up. Fir tolerate a fair bit of shade, so they were growing when the prior to the harvest, and they're going to benefit from having the selective harvest done. But this location here, we're kind of midpoint on this ridge, may be a great potential stand location for you or a friend. I'm kind of thinking right up in that general area here. The land slopes down in this direction, but this is a crossroads. You got a trail here, a trail here. This trail continues up where Blaze is. You can see a fair distance here. You can see 50 to 75 yards, especially if you were elevated a little bit. And then you got this trail here that goes up to where the ag fields are. So, I think, throwing a game camera here for sure would tell the tale, but that looks like a great stand location. So Blaze and I are working our way back to the truck along the ridge, and I just want to show you this transition. This is the boundary, which is well marked along its edge, and as you recall, I showed you the corner. This is where this line is going to terminate. If I followed it straight, it'll bring us down to the corner that I showed you in the very beginning. But notice this area here on the abutting parcel. This is off the property. This is the abutting parcel on the other side of the boundary line. That's really dark growth, a lot of white cedar in there, some hemlock. There's some hardwood in there too, but it's a very dark area, which would be kind of a sanctuary area for the whitetail. And then on this side here, you can look up over the hillside, which is, benefited from a thinning harvest and left a lot of hardwood shoots there. Those are nice stems. They're about 8 to 10 inches on probably average diameter. There's some larger, some smaller, but probably 8 to 10 average. But you can see pretty good, and the slope is fairly steep. But this is just a natural area where the deer are going to come down, and in the early morning, and probably head back into this dark growth area over here. Kind of a panorama. Very nice. So as you can see, that there has been a selective harvest done on this property, which left a lot of stems yet to grow, but it opened it up so you can see, and this makes it just that much better of a hunting parcel. When you do a harvest, it lets sun come in and grow shoots, so there's more browse and more feed available for all of the wildlife in the woods, whether it's ruffed grouse or moose or white-tailed deer. They all benefit from a selective harvest. This trail that we're following up to the height of the land is a natural game trail, which is evidenced by a buck did a little scrape action here on his way, looks like on his way up to the ag fields. Well, we're at what I believe to be another boundary of the property. To the best of my knowledge, this rock wall in front of me that separates the wooded acreage from the agricultural field beyond is also one of the boundaries of the property. This little trail right here that comes from the property that I'm selling over there is just beat down in the grass. The camera's not going to show it, but I can see it with deer tracks coming from that wooded acreage over here to this field. When I was walking this property several weeks ago with the owner and his woodcutter, the woodcutter indicated that this section of the property up here at the height, right where it's adjacent to the ag fields, many times during the woodcock migration, this is a great place to put up a bunch of birds. I didn't have the opportunity back then to come here with Blazer, but it sounds like it would have been a lot of fun if I had some time. So we're at the height of the land. Behind me over here, this is where the boundary of the property is that we have for sale, the 119 plus or minus acres that Blazer's exploring. We've got this beautiful ag field up here that is not part of the property, okay? This field is not on the property. However, you benefit from the fact that you have beautiful ag land all around here, apple trees along the roadways that is just drawing deer from the dark growth along Swift Brook up through the fields and back and forth. So this is a great piece of property where Whitetail are transitioning all season long from the height of the land to the bottom. This great pinch point to harvest a mature whitetail buck. So if you're looking for a recreational or hunting parcel where you and your friends can make some memories that's pretty accessible, this is a great parcel. We're about 5 miles off of I-95, exit 264, which is the Sherman exit on I-95. The Swift Brook Road, which is the access to this property, is also the access to the Katahdin Woods and Waters National Monument, which is approximately 3 miles from here. So this is a great area with lots of conservation ground around it, lots of working forest and ag land, and not many people. There's only about 400 people that live in the town of Stacyville. So if you're looking for a quiet place that's accessible, where you have a great opportunity to make some memories and perhaps shoot the buck of a lifetime, well, it's too late for this hunting season, but it's not too late for next season. So give Rick Terrio, your Maine real estate guy, a call at area code 207-731-9902, and let's get you up here to take a look at this property. And this is a great time post whitetail hunting season. You should still see evidence of buck rubs and scrapes, hopefully, if the snow holds off for a bit. But call soon, because this property is coming to market at $120,000 for 119 plus or minus acres of woodland and ridge. That is just a fantastic hunting property. So call today. Well, as I was following this property boundary, I told you there are bucks that live here. I found this shed. It's been mouse chewed, but nonetheless, half of a pretty decent 8-point buck. Look at the diameter of the bases. Pretty rugged deer. Would have been a nice one to see. If we're lucky, he's still wandering these woods with a brand new rack. What a nice find. I'll take this home with me.